Greetings, guys and goddesses. It's your god brother Andre. I'm here to build with you today on stages. And anything that you want in life that you want to accomplish on a mental level, physical level, etherical level, emotional level, there are stages you must go through in order to reach there or to achieve that certain place and destination. There is a process, should I say, that you must go through, which entails you going through stages. So with that being said, I was working out earlier today and clear thoughts just started coming to me. I was laying down the other night and some other clear thoughts on this same topic came to me and I jotted them down. I spoke with Sister Yemiya this morning because it came to me so heavy and I was just like, yo, me and her was talking about some videos that we were going to do soon that was coming to us because we've been both taking a step back for the most part on Facebook or social media period and tuning into ourselves, taking care of things on the home front, but also at the same time still going hard on our studies, going hard on our meditation, going hard on our fasting, going hard on attuning ourselves properly to our inner selves, our higher selves, our source selves, and the omniverse period. When you do that, you will allow the ancestors in the omniverse to speak through your source selves, which is the omniverse and the ancestors within you. So with that being said, on the topic of stages, each of us who are truly attuned, awaken, doing our part, and mentally and etherically awakening and uplifting our community and people with a consistent basis and committed effort is what it will take to empower our people. I'm going to repeat that. Each of us, truly awakened ones, doing our part, and mentally, each of us doing our part, and mentally and etherically, awakening and uplifting our community and people with a consistent basis and committed effort is what it will take to empower our people. Now, most don't want to realize that it's going to take all of us. How is it going to take all of us? All of us will never be on tune and this and that, that and that. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying each of us truly awakened ones. Because if you are truly awakened to what's going on around you, what's going on inside you, what's going on in the world of the collective concerning our people, you know that you must act upon it. You must do something. So, all of us doing our part is what it's going to take to empower our people. Now, what is our part? First of all, acknowledging that there are stages. And where is our placement in this stage that we are presently in? Most don't want to realize that it's stages to liberation. And we are in the most important stage, which is reawakening the mind and the soul, which will in turn empower each individual as well as the collective. Because one person teaches another. One awakened soul awakens another. It could be a friend at the job, a close friend you grew up with. It could be the people in your own household. And once the house is awakened, or the majority of the house is awakened, they awaken some other people, and it spreads. Okay. So don't be surprised when they try to quarantine you or quarantine me and all of us awakened ones, because we're spreading the truth. We're spreading what it will take to bring down this system. Okay. And that's the stage that we are in right now. We are building a foundation, okay? And the foundation is the awakening of the people, the awakening of the mind and the etheric self. And once you do that, everything else falls into place, okay? So there's a universal law of order, balance, and nectar that commands all of this to happen through these stages. You see me, I still got my workout gloves on. I ain't done yet, okay? I just got to work out with y'all for a hot second. So back to my what I was saying in simpler terms, the basic principles and laws of cause and effect, where one thing or action affects another / universal laws of nectar nature takes place when we do our part, which is acknowledging the stage that we are in, and our placement in that stage, our role in that stage, and we doing it and executing it accordingly. So once that happens and we do our part, the seeds are planted, the foundation is built, so on and so forth. And with that being said, the shift that we are seeing and witnessing and are partaking in is in reality another stage in the process of our liberation. So welcome to the foundation in the front line of the liberation movement, because we are awakening ourselves. And when you awaken yourself, what are you doing? You are freeing yourself from ignorance. Knowledge is power, and the truth will set you free, or in other terms, will liberate you. So let's get this straight. Number one, no people can attain their freedom without first knowing that they aren't free. There's a lot of us running around. I'm talking about masses and masses and masses, way more than there's awakened people, way more, okay, that are running around, don't know that they ain't free. So first you have to know that you aren't free. Then you have to learn the devices and the nature and origin of the devices used to strip you of your liberation, as well as those devices and how they continue to work against denying you your freedom and your liberations. You have to acknowledge that. So acknowledge that you aren't free. Okay? We have to get the masses to awaken and know that. And then we have to awaken them to the devices being used against them. All right? Then you have the internalization of the truth by the very ones seeking true liberation. Okay? The internalization of the truth by the ones seeking true liberation strips these devices and those who created these devices of the power that they temporarily had on you to strip you of your liberation. So once you internalize this knowledge, once you internalize the facts, once you internalize the truth, you strip the devices being used against you to strip you of your freedom. Okay? To strip you of your sovereignty, to strip you of your power. And you strip the people who created these devices, created this system, of their power that they once had over you. Number three, once the lies, the illusion, and the devices have been completely exposed, it's netter, or should I say nature, for the people who were once victims of this manipulation to unify. Then the universal laws of order and balance once again will bring forth true voices, minds, ethers, or spirits of leadership that will organize the people. Prominent people will step forth. There are people who are called upon by the netters, by the omniverse, and given that power to lead the masses in the right direction. This will be easy because those with any sense will merge as one. Because if you truly understand the paradigm of this matrix, then you know that egos, which has kept us apart in previous attempts at liberation mentally, physically, and spiritually, or etherically, the egos should not even exist. Because we have nothing on the grand scheme of the things compared to those who we are at war with. Once you internalize that we have nothing, no matter how much you got, you don't have nothing compared to the grand scheme of what those who we are at war with have. Those who have oppressed us, who stand in the way of us taking back what's been stripped from us and what is rightfully ours. And truly achieving that level of greatness, worth being proud. So it shouldn't be no egos. This should all fall naturally into place, or naturally into place, as universal order commands it to do. The final stage of liberation, cleaning house. I'm going through the stages with y'all, you know what I mean? Because there's stages to everything in life, everything in reality. There is a stage. You want it? You got to accept that there are stages, and you must go through that process and participate in your placement, your role in that particular stage that you were in right then and there. Okay? If you were blessed to be able to take part of it in all the stages and you lived that long, then more power to you. But right now, what stage we are in, acknowledge that and play your role in that stage. Wake up the people. The final stage is cleaning house, inside and out, which is not only us exercising our power and will, but also the universe exercising its will through nectar, us included, in restoring harmonic balance. Okay? So we got to clean house. We got to allow nectar to clean house, including us, so we can bring back the natural order of harmonic balance. Okay? First, you have to recognize there's a problem. You have to recognize what caused the problem. You have to recognize the devices used to keep the problem in place. And you got to clear all of that out. Recognize your placement in the stage or eradicating the problem. And then, when it's time, the final stage, of course, is the actual cleansing. That's through the revolution and the liberation of the mind, the spirit, and the body, as above, so below. Nothing comes into being without going through these stages. Nothing. A tree doesn't just pop. Nothing comes into being without going through these stages. Nothing. A tree doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. A tree must be planted first. Then it has to be fertilized. Then it has to be watered, so it can take root and draw from the soil the nutrients and the natural elements of the soil in which it has been planted in. Then over time and maturity, it will grow into a small plant. Yes, that seed grows into a small plant. Then that small plant grows into a small tree. Then that small tree grows into a full-grown tree, and so on and so on and so on through those stages. The same with a person. No one goes from just being a baby into a full-grown, mature adult without going through stages. Okay? Nobody. You don't just go from a babe, you know what I mean, physically, and then go into a grown man or a grown woman. You giving life and you mature and raising nations. No, you go through stages. You got to learn how to raise a nation by being raised yourself first. So, you got to go through the infant stage. Then you go through the toddler stage. Then you go through the adolescent stage. Then you go through the teenage and the adult, the young adult, and then the adult, etc., etc., etc. But this is not only happening. These stages are not only taking place within the physical. It's taking place within your mental as well. You can grow all you want physically, but if your mental is staying at the same level of a toddler, a 3-year-old, or a 4th grader, then you how effective are you? Where are you? You stuck, no matter how big your body is. So, at the same time that you are growing physically, your mind must be growing as well. At the same time your mind is growing and you are becoming attuned with everything around you, your body and your mind becoming one with each other, then your spirit is growing as well, and you feed that. As above, so below. And there are stages that must be applied, that must be respected, that must be honored when elevating in anything you do, in any level of existence, in anything in reality. These same stages must be honored, respected, like I said before, and follow with consciousness in the mental and the etherical realms, as well as the physical realm and reality pertaining to anything, including liberation. Most importantly, since that's the topic a lot of us are on now, liberation. There are stages. You just don't go out, bang, 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 shoot, 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 and then get murdered, because what are you doing? What have you accomplished? Nobody's going to be liberated because you killed 3 or 4 crackers. Okay? We have to wake up and be realistic with ourselves. Many forget that divine order must be followed. The stages are part of that divine order as well. So acknowledge, respect the order of the stages and accept your placement in them. To those who think we should be out there shooting and killing now, since I brought it up earlier, I might as well touch on it real quick. What will it accomplish? Like I said before, nothing. We most likely won't even go down in their history books for doing this. Okay, like Nat Turner did, or like previous other revolutionists did, and they were great people. They were great people. I applaud them. We needed those warriors. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today. So there is an action that must be taken place. But our ancestors, when they moved, they didn't move foolishly, because they moved with timing. They moved with balance, natural order, and all of this was accomplished through them acknowledging the stages of the movement, the position and the readiness of the people around them with whom they plan to make their move with. Okay? They knew that they had to make it count. And that's what we got to get on, all right? The masses of the people aren't ready. Not yet. We got to take that into reality. Everything we're doing right now is building the foundation. And we have to be realistic with that. As for those teaching you to go out into a blaze of glory, ask yourself this. Because there's a lot of people speaking this. But ask yourself this after you listen to them. Have they done it yet? Because if they went out in the blaze of glory, why are they still here? Have they done it yet? They told you a whole bunch of stories and this and that. Yeah. Have they done it yet? A true leader leads by example. Let me just say that real quick. Don't tell me about something and you ain't doing it. So if they believe in this, then why haven't they done so yet? Anybody who truly believes in something, this is a fact, and I know y'all feel me on this, you move accordingly to that belief. So, if you believe in something, if you truly believe in something, you move accordingly to that belief. If you're a real 360 degree individual who keeps it real with himself and likes to live by what he speaks, don't just talk it but practices what you preach, then you move according to that belief that you believe in. You don't just talk it. Those who don't, in actuality, don't believe in what they're saying. I'm gonna repeat that. Those who don't, in actuality, don't believe in anything that they are saying. They are just talking. Or you have some rare instances where they recognize the order of the stages that must take place. And that's when we have great leaders. Like these two guys here, mainly Malcolm X. Muhammad Ali was a great leader in his own right. But Malcolm X led a nation of people, put himself on the line, and there were quite a few other people who did the same thing. They knew that there were stages. Marcus Garvey led economic, he was trying to awaken the people economically to empower themselves. Malcolm X was doing that to a great extent as well, but he was also awakening them to the reality of what we're facing and who we are facing and what we must do mentally to get on point and spiritually. He just didn't know that Islam wasn't the way back then. You know what I mean? That was necessary for that stage of our evolution back then. But we know that religion is not what's up right now. So now the stage that we're in, it requires us to assume the position to further awaken the masses, attune the masses, prime the masses, and get them ready for the next stage of the shift, which is the natural order of things and will lead to our total, complete, and undeniable liberation. You ask, what's my solution besides continuing to awaken the people? First of all, let me say this. I'm not saying that if they bring the heat to you, that you just go out and lay down. Those who know me know I'm not saying that at all whatsoever. There's no need for me to say what I really feel on that. For everybody's sake, let's just hope don't nobody come and do nothing wrong to my people. You know what I mean? To my family. But we need to unite. We need to organize under one banner. And my solution is to continue awakening the people, attune, prime, and align the people. I say we need to demand our own land, set aside here for us as promised. Once again, I'm going to say this again. What do we need to do? What's my solution? Demand our own land. Set aside here for us as promised. Don't ask for it. Demand it. Those recognized as the Native Americans have their own land. Reservations set aside and the whole nine. They could stand up there and protest pipelines coming through, contaminating their waters and all this other type of stuff. They could stand on their land. They got land. Why do they have that? Why are they in position to be able to stand up against these people running a pipeline through their land set aside for them? Because they have a land to stand on in the first place. They came together. They stuck together, they organized and got theirs. Why have it and why don't we? So you know what we gotta do. That's my solution. If we can get our land here, then we should be moving together as one with all of our resources, all of our skills, all of our funds, all of our intellect, to a place where we can have our own and put those funds, those resources, those skills, that intellect, that ingenuity, and that drive, that energy, INNER-G, energy, you know what I'm saying, to use for our own, for the benefit of ourselves, not for the benefit of somebody who continues to oppress us, murder us, kill us, rape us, destroy us, and laugh in our face that we're not getting any justice, even though. So, with that being said, I just want y'all to know that there are stages that we must acknowledge. This is divine order. Everything has stages. As I expressed earlier with the tree, starting off as a seed, then a small plant, so on and so on. A man or an adult woman starting off as a seed as well, then a baby, then an infant, you know, so on and so on. Toddler, adolescent, young teen. There are stages in everything, physically, mentally, and etherically, and we have to acknowledge that, honor, and respect those stages. Know the stage that you're in, and assume your position and role in that stage to make it happen. You will know what your position and your role is because it's already in you. You already have these qualities, these attributes, these skill sets or whatever. Just put them to use for that stage of the shift, which is leading back to our total liberation. Because the first shall be last and the last shall be first again. Remember that. The people offended by the truth are the ones living a lie. It's your God, brother Andre Freeland, 360 degrees of wholeness, perfection, and power. The people for we are.